Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a story that sounds like it is straight out of a Hollywood movie, but I assure you, it's all real. We're talking about the single largest cannabis bust in the history of Canada. It wasn't just a few plants in a basement. This was a colossal, industrial-scale operation that shook the nation and raised some serious questions about the black market, even years after legalization. The story takes us to the Niagara region in southern Ontario, a place better known for its stunning waterfalls and world-class wineries. But in the fall of 2020, it became the epicenter of a massive police investigation codenamed Project Green Goblin. Yeah, you heard that right, Project Green Goblin. It sounds a bit like a comic book villain, but the scale of this operation was no laughing matter. So, what exactly did they find? The numbers are staggering. On October 15, 2020, officers from multiple police forces, including the Niagara Regional Police and the OPP, raided a massive greenhouse facility in the town of St. Catharines. Inside, they didn't just find a few rows of plants. They uncovered over 100,000 cannabis plants in various stages of growth. Let that sink in for a moment. 100,000 plants. To put that into perspective, that's enough to fill multiple football fields. But the plants were just the beginning. The police also seized over 1,000 kilograms, that's more than 2,200 pounds of processed, dried cannabis, ready to be packaged and sold. The estimated street value of this haul, a jaw-dropping 100 million Canadian dollars. This wasn't your typical mom-and-pop illegal grow. This was a sophisticated, highly organized criminal enterprise. The facility itself was a marvel of illicit engineering. It was a former commercial greenhouse that had been completely repurposed. The operators had invested heavily in state-of-the-art equipment, advanced lighting systems, complex irrigation and ventilation networks, and everything needed to cultivate cannabis on an industrial scale, all hidden in plain sight. From the outside, it probably looked like any other large agricultural business in the area, but inside, it was a factory for illegal drugs. The investigation that led to this historic raid was complex and took months of intelligence gathering. Police had been monitoring the location for a while, noticing suspicious activity and gathering the evidence needed to obtain search warrants. It wasn't just a single raid either. Project Green Goblin. It involved multiple search warrants executed at the main greenhouse and several other associated properties in the Niagara area, including locations in St. Catharines and Lincoln. The arrests that followed were significant. Several individuals were charged with serious offenses under Canada's Cannabis Act, primarily for the unauthorized cultivation and possession of cannabis for the purpose of trafficking. The people involved weren't just low-level growers. They were part of a well-organized crime ring. This bust highlighted a crucial point. Even with legal cannabis stores on every corner, sophisticated criminal organizations are still very much active in the black market. So, why would someone go to such extreme lengths when cannabis is legal? The answer lies in economics. The black market operates without taxes, without regulatory oversight, and without quality control. This allows criminals to undercut legal prices and sell products of unknown potency and safety. The profit margins are enormous, making it a very attractive business for organized crime. They're not just competing with the legal market, they're exploiting its limitations. Another fascinating aspect of this case was the sheer audacity. To operate on this scale requires immense resources and a belief that you can fly under the radar. The criminals were essentially running a multi-million-dollar corporation, complete with a complex supply chain, logistics, and distribution network, all operating in the shadows. They likely had connections to distribute the product across Canada and potentially even into the United States. The aftermath of the bust was just as significant as the raid itself. First, there was the logistical challenge of dismantling the operation. Imagine having to document, seize, and then destroy over 100,000 plants and a metric ton of dried cannabis. It's a monumental task. The police spent days processing the scene, and the images released to the public showed a seemingly endless sea of green under the glow of grow lights. This case served as a major wake-up call for both law enforcement and the government. It proved that the fight against the illegal cannabis market was far from over. Legalization was intended to cripple the black market by providing a safe, regulated alternative. And while it has made a significant dent, operations like the one in Niagara show that there are still massive illegal enterprises thriving. It also raises questions about licensing and regulation. How could a facility of this size be converted and operated without someone noticing? These are the kinds of questions that regulators are still grappling with. Cracking down on the black market requires a multi-pronged approach, enforcement like Project Green Goblin, public education about the dangers of illicit products, and a competitive legal market that can effectively draw consumers away from illegal sources. The Niagara bust wasn't an isolated incident either. In the years since legalization in 2018, police across Canada have uncovered numerous large-scale illegal grow operations. However, Project Green Goblin remains the benchmark. The largest of them all, a testament to the scale and sophistication that organized crime can achieve. It showed that these criminal groups are adaptable and resilient, willing to take huge risks for the promise of huge profits. When you buy cannabis from an unregulated source, you have no idea what you're getting. It could be contaminated with pesticides, mold, or other harmful substances. There's no quality control, no testing, and no accountability. The legal market, for all its flaws, provides that safety net. Every product is tracked from seed to sale, tested for contaminants, and clearly labeled with its THC and CBD content. The story of Project Green Goblin is a powerful reminder of the ongoing battle between the legal, regulated cannabis industry and the persistent, powerful black market. It's a story of detective work, immense scale, and the complex realities of drug policy in the 21st century. It shows that while the landscape of cannabis has changed dramatically, the old challenges of organized crime haven't simply vanished. They've just adapted to the new environment. It really makes you think about the hidden world that operates just beneath the surface of our everyday lives. A $100 million illegal factory hidden in plain sight in wine country. It's a compelling real-life crime story that continues to have implications for law enforcement, policymakers, and the legal cannabis industry today. What do you guys think? Were you surprised by the scale of this operation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into incredible true stories. We'll see you in the next video.